And here we go. We've got a 4-quadrant area separated out by cobblestone, as you can see in the distance over here. Down below, a couple of the boys have already started digging. We're planning to make a 256 by 256 perimeter to try and make a mob farm. You see one of our little slaves working away hard here at the moment. Give a little outline of the kind of area we're planning to dig out here. And down in the distance, straight ahead of me, you're about to see some chests that we've put down to try and collect as much of this stuff that we're chopping out as possible. Coming back over here, still going to get this quadrant on the left-hand side, this quadrant up ahead, quadrant to the right, and that's the next job. Hours into the project, I thought you might want to get to see me play some glass. We're gonna do it at 10 times speed. Here we go. So it was 512 out of 65,000 blocks. Good times. Pickaxes that you're wearing, they're taking a bit of time as well.
Yeah.
So, made a little bit of a progress with the mine we've been digging out. Trying to make a 128 by 128 chunk area so we can have some really efficient farms. You can see we've kind of outlined the border of the whole area here with this cobblestone wall. So this is all slowly being chopped out by hand. The section over here to the right has also all been chopped out by hand, and we've realized that is a freaking enormous job. So what we have done, or what I have been doing for the last however long, is creating a world eater. As you can see along here to my left, we've got a multi-level, very technical, moving world eater. So on the bottom side here we've got sweepers that will move along and remove any liquids that are placed along, like lava and water. And at the top up here we've got a line of TNT dupers, which will move along, basically carpet bombing the area that we're going to be trying to clear. So we're really only clearing 2 of these 128 quadrants here with this world eater. We'll probably have to dig out the other 2 by hand, or build another world eater, which I really do not want to have to do. But yeah, you can see it's built. It's going to be moving pretty soon. In order for it to work properly, we have to have a 15 by 15 trench running all the way down to bedrock on this end over here, where it's going to move downward as it goes across to break apart the world. And we have to have a trench along this side over here, where the TNT blast radius won't break the outside wall and let in liquids. So here's the trench down here. You notice a bunch of beacons that we've built to try and speed up the mining process. So to dig out this trench as well, this took a really long time. This is the catcher at the far end. So on this end here, the sweepers will join along and they'll catch onto these bits of terracotta built along the bottom here, those bits just there. And they will come to a stop along there. And then we break apart the little block down here and it will move back the other way. We've got a catcher at the top here as well for the TNT dupers. And the whole system will move down 1 layer and then it will move back in the other direction. So it's a pretty large project. You can see we've basically begun building this one down 15 layers. You can see a bunch of leftover blocks here that have been digging. And this one's already down to bedrock height along here. We've had to fill in a bunch of lava and stuff. There's a bunch of pools along here. And the only bit left to dig out now is along this side here. And the world eater is basically going to eat everything that is running across this middle section here. So looking forward to being able to show you a bit of that moving. May have to build another one to break out all this area over here. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Potentially we'll dig out this quadrant by hand and build a smaller one just over here, but not really certain what I'm going to do with that yet. Oh, and lastly, in order to build this, we needed somewhere in the range of 600 to 700 blocks of slime. So I had to build a slime farm down here, which has been on and off efficient. Works better when no one else is online. At the moment there's a bunch of monsters spawning in caves around here, which is, like you can see one up there, decreasing the spawn radius, which is unfortunately reducing the amount of slime that's spawning in here. But basically slime system works above. You can see the slime starting to fill up down here. Need 9 slime balls to make 1 slime block, so something like 4,500 slime balls required to make that machine in the first place. Haven't actually started it off yet, looking forward to doing that pretty soon. But yeah, we'll come back and finish out digging out these trenches, and then we'll start the big fire up and have a video of that. Hopefully it runs smoothly and does not break, because this is, I'm thinking, somewhere in the order of 20 hours worth of mining out the trenches and building in order to create this thing in the first place. It's not been fun. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Oh hey again, thought you might want to see me chop out a 15 wide by 128 long by 5 deep section over and over and over. You're in luck. Let's do it at 10 times speed. That's about 2/3 of one section that I have to multiply by 8 to get ourselves down to the height we need to be, so good times. let's continue.
Back home to you.
Well, there's one level of 5, we're at level 40, and then we will do that another 8 times to get to bedrock, not counting the levels we did above, not counting the levels down the other end that we've already done, so you can imagine the amount of work. And here we are, finally at bedrock height. Last level to chop out, and then only one more this way. And we can actually use this machine. Fuck. Used to care a lot about diamonds, but I found so many doing this shit I don't even give a fuck anymore. Alright, one more, here we go. And there we go. Bedrock height. Last block. Yeah. That took about 3 hours. So you can kind of imagine how long all of this took. And all of this. And, well, yeah, we dug all this one by hand. Now I've got this line here to do next. Along here that I'm flying, right below me. All of this got to be chopped out that way. And then the machine will finally be usable. I'm almost over it, honestly. Anyway, hopefully I'll pep up soon. And we're here. Last run, right here. This is hours. Ugh, I can't even count them all. I feel like I've been here for eons doing this shit. Anyway, be done very shortly. And then chop out the beacons, double check all the perimeter, make sure it's all okay, and then we'll start her up. Look forward to it. Alright, and here we are. All finished. Trench is fully dug out for the machine to move down. As it moves down, it'll move across this way. This is the blast radius of the TNT range along this wall, and then similar one on the other wall. So this trench is 15 wide, it's 128 long, and it's 70 deep. And this one here is 4 wide, it's 256 long, and it is 70 deep as well. And then we've got another one on the opposing side, which is also 256 long, 4 wide, and 70 deep. And on the far end, we also have another one, which again, 15 wide, 128 long, and 70 deep. And I've just done a little bit of a calculation to figure out exactly how many blocks that is that we've chopped out just for this perimeter. I'm not counting that glass area over there, which is totally separate. None of this included, just the trench width all the way around the perimeter of the area that's going to be chopped out by the World Eater. And we're looking at 412,160 blocks that have been chopped out so far. Oh, you can imagine how many blocks that means live inside this section here that is very, very soon not going to be here. This machine is going to be going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, just carpet bombing away. And that is a lot of work. But in the long run, it saves some time because that dugout section just there took about 20 hours as well. And that's about 1/8 of the entire quadrant that we need chopped out. So it's going to save time in the long run, but a big time investment to start with. Get rid of a couple of these platforms, and I'm ready to start her up. Get back to you after that. You ready?
I'm standing in the middle on the red line. You've got TNT dupers, and they're just falling down a certain height.
I'll stand there
And
in a
then-
second. You can fly around.
Yep, and then Stuart's going to stand here in a second. I'll fly around. But then there's sweepers down the bottom there. See the pistons?
Yes.
So when you've got a source block, if you put something in that source block, it disappears. So what they do is they put pistons into the source blocks and make sure that the water. Seems to be slower coming back this way. It's like lagging for me down the end there. It's still loaded in and stuff.
Seems to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, just kill the skeleton in the middle. It's nice.
That spider's about to be a goner.
Alright, yeah, stay here if you want to go.
Hey Claire? Claire? You want to have have a fly around and show you?
It is going to come back now because I haven't put the thing in to stop it at the other end. They're about to get. Oh, they're getting wrecked. That's what you get, you fucking pillagers. It's an easy way to deal with them.
Yeah, whenever I respawn.
Not for a little while. At least we don't get bad omen because we didn't attack them. Yeah, just sweep out some more lava down here.
Cool. There's slime behind you.
Oh, I might not even need it because the sand will fall. Come stand over this side and let's just see if it starts. Oh. Fuck, I'm good. I'm a genius, man. I'll tell ya. Let's see. Sounds good. Let's check this out.
me to push something?
Yeah, you can do it. Pull that lever. See if she
Here we go.
goes.
Look how fast I'm mining, yay. That trader's getting fucked, see?
I see that.
Oh, one of his camels died.
So we let the World Eater keep going down to bedrock and decided I never wanted to dig a trench again in my entire life, so I made a little mini Jupiter here to run along the side trench and try and break that apart for us rather than having to dig it. Unfortunately though, just here in a moment, it's about to blow itself apart because I hadn't built it quite high enough. TNT is going to chain react up, and right there, boom, it just blew itself up. We look back at it, you can see you've just got the little observer floating in the sky and nothing else. I was a little bit confused this time and a little bit sad as well. I had to go and rebuild it one more time. It just keeps happening over and over and over. Pass number 5. How many times is the machine going to break? No one knows.
I fell down, nearly killed myself.
Hopefully it comes back without getting caught this time. Blow itself up.
A bit of what they don't put this There's a stranded turtle. Portable guy.
They just haven't seen it.
Well, if the TNT Jupiter 1 wide works for a small trench, I guess a 3 wide one should work for a wider trench. So, we've got another one, as you can see. And 4 eternities later, here we are. Almost at bedrock. Just got one more pass to do, and our World Eater should have us down to the height we're gonna glass in the floor. You can see this chunk I've dug out here with a 3-way little mini World Eater that I've built with no sweeper, and we've built another one over this side up here, down this channel here. Got really sick of digging these out by hand, so not as neat as the other side, but you know, a lot quicker. Got to build one more back this way very soon. Can't do it yet because the World Eater's still in the way, but here we go. We're on our final pass. And there we are. Whew. That was not a small job. And now we have to build it again, a second time, to take up this area over here. Can't wait. Oh well, off to it then. And here we are 6 hours later with a new 3x3 trench digging World Eater below me here with a mini trench already dug out, ready for it to go. We've already headed across over here and chopped out the initial World Eater that's destroyed most of the world. Tried to move it down a couple of extra blocks while I was doing it, and while doing that, I didn't line up the catcher properly, and right here, boom, you can see the World Eater took off in the direction that I'm flying, and it absolutely annihilated the landscape. You can see these little pillars up here and there where I chased after it and tried to build in front of it to finally stop it. Bit of a mishap there, but what can you do? On the left-hand side here, you'll see one of the TNT dupers stuck against a wall. There it is. Never got around to chopping that one out. It's a little memorabilia moment for me there. But one more little lap, you can see the perimeter is basically ready. There's the initial 3x3 duper I built on this side to dig the trench. Here's where I was practicing to build one of those little mini dupers in the center there. You can see like a practice version. Then we got the long trench along the side rather than chopping it out by hand. And coming up here, we have the new 3x3 trench eater. On second thought, I thought I'd make it daytime so I don't get killed by a creeper before letting it go. So, a bunch of them all around, as you can see. Here we go. Spoke too soon. Platform didn't get destroyed, but you can see just here right now the Jupers have just got caught on something. I haven't noticed it yet, and now I have. One of them continues on its merry little way, catches up with the catcher at the end here where I'm standing, and I'm like, what is going on with those other two back there? Turns out one of the slime blocks hit the perimeter edge and forced them to blow each other's TNT off and break out parts of them. So let's go back to rebuilding again, I guess. So we did a little bit of fixing on those broken dupers, and here they are returning and continuing after about another hour's worth of work since we last saw it. Holy shit, did we do a lot in the last 7 hours. Straightened up all those trench edges, made them all nice and flat and not jagged anymore. And what is this? Oh, it's a second World Eater that I finished building to dig out that other part of the trench that we just finished. The job just doesn't end.
Change our names, live on the sun.
You're just chopping out beacons, or?
I'm chopping out the dupers we built across the corners as well to dig out the trenches because they're all going to be in the way when the TNT starts falling.
To touch evaporates, I open up my eyes, wake up dreaming through the days and sleepless nights. You're lucid.
This beacon here needs to be chopped out as well, yeah? The one near the slime farm?
And I'll go do this other corner over here. Alright, finished chopping them out. One last perimeter sweep now, just make sure there's no blocks in the way. It's all looking pretty good. Done a lot of glassing on this left-hand side that you can see there. The slime farm is going to be destroyed by this, unfortunately, but what can you do? Looks good. Ready to go. I'll go start her up.
Beach him up.
Please don't break. Cheers up.
We've got Optifine loaded, you can press these.
Felt like everything moved acceptably.
Build it properly.
Except the guy that just built in glass.
Just docked. Down the bottom.
Seems to have docked. find out. We'll bring it down one layer. Okay. Seems like it's docked okay. We'll send it back.
Yep, down layer.
Have my shield up. It did rock me a little bit though. It did make me
This is
shield.
one ladder, like three on the back there. In fact, you can break out this first layer of glass. It's sad, honestly, having to cut out this machine after all of that work it's done for me, but can't leave it here, so get those resources back, I guess. Let's get it done at 10 times speed.
Is this what happens every time it gets to bottom stew just to rebuild it?
Yes.
That is quite gay. What kind of world eater is this?
It eats the world down
I
the
think
bed.
it
What do you mean?
We should remake it so it just does it all itself.
Remake it so it all does what? What are you talking about?
Like it remakes itself up higher and then does
It
it all again.
remakes itself. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think any such machine exists in Minecraft that remakes itself, unless you're using cheats.
Well, I think you rebuilt it after I left. I fucking know, man.
Like I've rebuilt the whole sweeper.
Yeah. Well, it didn't take long to chop it out.
No, it's quick as shit to chop out. Everything's fast to chop out, man. Things take a long time to build. It's not about fucking chop out speed. Luck. Okay, went
That
down
moved
one.
down one.
Yeah, but it has to move down 2. That's the thing. So yeah.
Stop. Oh no.
You have to do a physical move to make it go the next level. Okay, if I've lined this up right, the bottom of that sweeper, the bottom terracotta should land in the gap. Go on, do it, do it! Yes! Seems to be breaking up most of the blocks.
It's only barely touching the ground, eh?
There's still a fair bit of lava underneath it.
This is
It's
one
all
idea.
underneath the bedrock, all that one. It's all
Yeah.
painting out.
Yeah.
The one I did actually is better.
It's just coincidence. Oh.
Oh my god, that was the last pass. I almost feel sad. It's finally coming to an end. Chopping out the machine to get back those resources at the end here, and we'll do it in a 10 times, eh? And here we are on the final side. Final piece is ripping through it at 10 times, getting rid of those last little bits, and we're almost done here. Alright, 3.5 weeks after the beginning, and here we are. A bit of a hole. I don't even know where to begin to talk about this project. Been working on it for, yeah, about 3.5 weeks. Currently in the last little phase here, glassing in the floor. There's a little bit over here that's not quite finished, just there that I'm flying over. And then there's this whole section over here that still needs to be glassed. Didn't quite realize how much glass would be required to do this. Did a little calculation there. It's a 256 by 256 hole, so you're looking at somewhere around 65,536 glass for one layer that you've got to cover the bedrock with. And then if we multiply that by a minimum of 70, and you've got to keep in mind that some depths of this hole were more like 100, 120, but anyway, we'll just make it 70. And if you take your 256 by 256, multiply it by 70, we've chopped out around about 4.5 million, or 4,587,520 blocks. It's been huge task, big job. Here is right in the center of the perimeter. Basically dug it out so we can make the most effective creep farm possible. You can see here is slime chunk I've marked out. We had a slime farm over here long ago, but had to break it all out to finish the world. This section here, World Eater that I was using got away from me at one point, didn't hit its catcher, took off into the distance. I showed this before, but there's a part of it still left behind there. You can see it kind of went out destroying the landscape, and here's me flying out after it, trying to pillar up to get beside it to block it off because it was just going off into the distance, and as you can see, broke apart the world. I was actually quite lucky in a way that most of it, when it came across, crashed straight into this wall here and blew itself up. Saved me doing a huge chase back the other way, but yeah. Little perimeter sweep here through the area. Get a bit of a scale of how large this is. Can build a multi-tiered, multi-creep farm in the center for maximum efficiency. It's going to end up pretty good. Put up another video when I get to that, but yeah, here's where we're at. That's a wrap. So here's a few stats for you. 985,600 blocks dug by hand, 3.6 million blocks destroyed by TNT. Real life time took about 3.5 actual weeks to do. Total in-game time is 4 days and 13 hours working on it. You can think of that if you want as 12 9-hour days of full-time work with no lunch breaks. So, don't know what else to do with myself. I might go to sleep, actually. Thanks guys, see ya.